Nate, I know you're a gamer and all this, and I'm just thinking maybe out loud as far as in your shoes right now. It's like, all right, we've done all the thinking we can do, we've done all the game planning we can do. Maybe just fuck it. We'll just go in next year and just not think that anymore and just win this thing when we don't think so much. Am I on the right path at all with this? Like maybe you just guys think a little too much.
No.
Oh.
Last one here for Nathan. Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Poor Spec had to follow that up. I feel bad for Mark Spector. We should have had Mark Spector on today just to talk about that fucking experience.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
No, you wouldn't. No, I don't have his number. Or do I? Maybe I do.
It's okay.
I don't know. But I would. I wish we had. So Nate.
Nate, can you translate the last question? Everybody's talking about the swearing. I think what I want to do is go through the sentence itself. I think we need to go through the sentence. By the way, if you don't know who that is, it's Adrian Dater of, where does he work now?
I want to say the Denver Post.
Okay.
Let me see.
Longtime reporter there. Bit of an infamous cat.
Definitely an infamous cat.
And has been in the news for the wrong reasons before. But in this particular case, and I don't actually know the story because that was pre me really getting into hockey in the media side.
Let's put it at bad DMs that you shouldn't DM.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So you guys want me to read his where he works from his Twitter bio?
Please do. Yeah.
So it's Adrian Dater, Avalanche writer, editor, boss for ColoradoHockeyNow.com. Avs insider at 104.3 The Fan, writer at Bookies.
Whoa, they let him on the radio? Man, I hope he's better at answering questions than he is at asking them.
We're all proof that they'll let anyone on the radio.
Well, I guess. So let's replay that question because that was sure. Who cares that Vegas got through last night? That was the biggest news. That question.
It was the biggest highlight.
All right, you guys ready for it again?
Ready,
yes, please.
As far as in your shoes right now, it's like, all right, we've done all. Nate, I know you're a gamer and all this, and I'm just thinking maybe out loud as far as in your shoes right now. It's like, all right, we've done all the thinking we can do, we've done all the game planning we can do. Maybe just fuck it. We'll just go in next year and just not think that anymore and just win this thing when we don't think so much. Am I on the right path at all with this? Like maybe you just guys think a little too much.
So.
No.
Don't forget the no.
So Nate. So
what
it's basically like
supposed to do in that situation. He did the only option. No.
Yeah, like he. So it's basically like I don't know. This season you were good, but like you were thinking, and maybe next year it's like fuck it, don't think, and then you win, right? Right? Like what was that? Now, here's the thing. I have asked some horrendous questions to you guys, to myself. I called Nick Robertson a defenseman. You
used to do the dangle dial.
Jesus!
With Jeff Blair.
Okay,
if anybody doesn't understand,
you please explain the dangle dial.
The dangle dial to me was okay. So Steve already is a bit of a cartoon character, as you probably know. But it was the Fan 590's initial attempt to pull Steve into the fold here in Toronto. And the idea was that Steve would literally lose his mind every single time he was on. And so, because the Leafs were a frustrating team, what a surprise. And Jeff Blair would try to interrupt Steve and get him to stop, and Steve would just go and go and go and go and then hang up. And Jeff, God bless him, Jeff's got to be in his late 50s at this point. And doesn't fucking get it. And none of us got it, to be honest with you. I think it was a nice idea. But
so I would pre-record these little rants.
Mm-hmm.
And he would talk over them in the morning.
Yeah.
But he would do it in his aloof and dismissive Jeff Blair way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he did his best to make it work, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he did too.
Because it was him playing the recording and then just kind of going along with you, but you're just ranting because you don't know what's actually going to happen in the moment with Jeff Blair. It's just a recording of you, so the whole thing just came across.
So he'd be like, so Steve would be talking a million miles a minute.
Yeah,
Jeff would be like, Steve, Steve,
that's not bad.
Steve, well, no, Steve, and then he hung up. Like, it was just like, I was like, what's being accomplished here? I don't understand this. And what I didn't love about it at the time for you was that it just added to the stereotype about what you are, which is what people were using to write you off.
I was trying to be wacky stunt boy.
Right. And that, I didn't like that. So I remember thinking, like, why the hell are they making him do that? Obviously it's worked out. I don't know. Steve works at Sportsnet or whatever, so I guess it's okay.
Well,
But,
Jeff made it work, but then by some miracle they sold it. So it was sponsored, and so even when Blair wasn't there and they had another host, we had to do it, and they would not get it. They would not get it. They would not play along. Yeah. They did not enjoy the bit at all, and I would just die 1,000 deaths on air every day.
There's a real trooper. Like, that's a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Blair?
Yeah, Jeff Blair.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he called into his own show when Adam and I filled in for him.
Yeah.
What I'm getting to is I've had many awkward experiences in front of a mic, and you just deal with it. And I feel like we wouldn't be making as big a deal over this clip this morning if he had some humor about it.
Yeah, so I mean, full marks to Pete Blackburn for posting the clip, because I mean,
Merry Christmas.
Who's going deep on post games? But Pete did, and what was interesting about that is this is the second to last question. You'll hear, okay, last question, Mark Spector, Sportsnet. Like, it is deep into the, usually you listen to the first three questions, the players answered all they're going to answer. Nate MacKinnon looks like he's going to cry. Like, what's he going to say at this point? Why are we still asking this man questions? And like, he had just come off saying, I've been in the league 10 years and I haven't won shit. Yeah. Like, what? There's your quote. Like, well, I don't know what you're going to ask that you're going to get that's more powerful than that. And that's a damn good quote, by the way.
That is a great point. And I wrote about this in my book. Have I told you that I wrote a book? There was an Oakland A's pitcher, I think, who the A's were on like some ridiculous losing streak. This is when I was an intern and I got to go do the visiting locker room for the Jays. They were on like an 8-game losing streak, and I want to say they were leading like by 3 runs or something heading into the 8th, and he blows it. The Jays win, and their streak continues. We got, as maybe a dozen of us with microphones in his face, we got about 45 seconds in, and we all looked at each other, realized we had our quote, because he was like, I cost us the game or whatever. We looked at each other, we realized we had our quote, and everyone backed off.
Yeah.
Right away. Yep. We're like, okay, that's enough.
Right. And I think with Zoom, you don't have that sort of that vibe thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's like a human to human. I'm going to back off this subject now. And I find that in Zoom meetings too, is there's just not the same social cues that are available to people normally. And it's funny. I'm glad that we've been able to adjust with this show, because I know when we first started doing it over Zoom, it was pretty tough. And now it just feels like old hat, like this is what we've been doing. But, it certainly it was awkward. And some of the post-game stuff is awkward just because guys are taking their mute off, or, they're trying to talk to people. It's very, very complicated. Now, so Pete Blackburn takes the clip, posts it. It has right now 11,000 likes, close to 12.
Oh,
and so immediately, and as Steve said this perfectly, if Adrian had a sense of humor about this and said, yeah, man, you got me. That was one of the dumbest questions I've ever asked. Everybody would have been like, over. Mm-hmm. But what Adrian responds with is, oh, thanks, Pete, for the lesson in online decorum. And then, so Pete, being Pete, responded back with, your question was literally this, and it was the Bill O'Reilly, fuck it. What does he say in it?
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. What do you mean? Sting will play us out.
It's a truly surreal clip.
It is. It's crazy because he doesn't understand what playing somebody out is. And then Adrian said, fair enough. Just talking like hockey people talk. Sorry if it's too sensitive for your ears.
He said that to Pete.
And Pete wrote, you're right. Nate seemed to get it. And then I'm just looking at tweet, and then and then Adrian responded again.
Oh, did he?
Let it go again. He said,
Oh.
"You're right, Pete. I forgot you're the best beat writer in hockey. Oh wait, I just forgot. You've never been a beat writer. You've never covered a team day to day,
Bro, you just say you fucked up.
And
Like,
then-
And then he blocked him.
and then he blocked him. And Pete's like, I thought I was the sensitive one. So,
I listen, I get it. It's easier to just talk shit from a computer than it is to be a beat writer. Like, I did it briefly and I was like, this is fucking hard. Like,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
He also he followed up today. Just
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said in response to a tweet that says, well, the only thing that made any of us laugh the last 4 games was probably Dater's question to MacKinnon in post game. So thank you, Dater, for putting a smile on our faces. And it was a good question, just a little jumbled. Haters gonna hate. So he replied to that tweet by saying, I mangled the question big time. There's a reason I'm a writer and not a broadcaster. But that's what
Like-
he probably should have said initially and not angrily
That's all he
tweet
could have
at
said. That's all he had to
people.
say.
he was probably
Hey, man, it
sore.
was a dumb question. Sorry.
He's probably sore in the moment.